All right, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. You have another article here. Okay, once again, back with more prophecies, man, because that's the times we're living in. Okay, prophecy. It says Trump fully prepared for military action against Turkey. But wait, time out. Turkey's a NATO ally, right? It says the U.S. President Donald Trump is fully prepared to use military force against Turkey if needed. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has declared, qualifying the statement by insisting Washington prefers to use its diplomatic powers. We prefer peace to war, Pompeo told CNBC in a taped interview that aired Monday afternoon. But, see, here's the thing. Now, Trump might say something like this, or or Pompeo, he might come out and say something like this, and oftentimes it's sort of like a threat, to scare the whoever it is, or in this case Turkey, all right, to get right, because it's like, all right, don't think that just because you're a part of NATO, we're not prepared to use military force against you. But see, Erdogan isn't the type of guy to heed to this, man. Okay, he already told him, don't mess with me. All right. So Erdogan is what I guess you could say he's hard-headed, so he's not gonna fall for this, because he's like, listen, man, if I'm gonna do what I said I'm gonna do, all right, and if you feel like you're gonna use military force against me, try it. And what is this doing? This is driving Turkey away from NATO and straight to Russia, straight to Iran, okay? Strengthening the ties with them, because how do you form friends? By a common enemy. Okay, you can turn two enemies into the best of friends. Just give them a greater threat, which is a common enemy for them both. All right, and this is all biblical prophecy, because Russia, all right, pursuant to Ezekiel the 38th chapter, is supposed to be a guard, all right, onto these nations, which Turkey is one of them. So that means the Lord had to do something to put Turkey in the spotlight of sort of breaking away from NATO and shifting more towards Russia and Iran. It says, but in the event that kinetic action or military action is needed, you should know that President Trump is fully prepared to undertake that action. He stopped short of revealing what action on Turkey's part would constitute such a need. Pompeo added that Washington would use economic and diplomatic powers before breaking out the heavy artillery. He did not want to get out in front of the president's decision, but about whether to take the awesome undertaking of using America's military might, he said, indicating that it was up to Trump to decide whether Ankara had crossed the line. And no, mind you, what this is going to do is it's going to sever that alliance. Okay. And once that happens, look, man, it's going to make America look bad, because it's like, yo, what about the other NATO countries? Now they're going to be, yo, what's up? Like, you just attacked a NATO ally, okay? Or you just used military force against a NATO ally concerning something in Syria, which shouldn't really concern you, but you just did that to them. So now they're looking at them like, oh, time out. So what about us? You already put in sanctions on us. You're going to get at us too? All right. But one way or another, the scriptures tell you that the horns are going to turn, all right, upon the whore, man, America. All right. They are going to turn on this place, and they're going to burn her flesh with fire, as it tells you in the book of Revelation, man. So they're going to shoot their missiles here as well. This is all prophecy. All right. And as we keep stressing it, man, the people are going to start seeking the prophets now more than ever, because they're going to understand their news isn't going to be able to the news might tell you what's happening, but it's not going to be able to explain why it's happening. What's the cause? What's going to happen next? But we have the answer to that. We can take what the news says and filter it, because the Lord has given us the ability to see, all right, to see what's going to happen next, to see what we have to do. Trump had earlier touted the wisdom of giving Turkey some space to enact its campaign on the border of Syria against Kurdish groups Ankara considered to be terrorists. Sometimes you have to let them fight a little while, then people find out how tough the fighting is. He quipped at a campaign rally last week. Sometimes you have to let them fight like two kids in a lot. You got to let them fight until you pull them apart. But what happens when you try to pull them apart and one of them swings at you, all right, and cracks you in the face? Turkey and the U.S. agreed on a 5-day ceasefire last week, allowing the Kurds to clear the area Ankara wants to turn into a safe zone. While both sides have accused the other of breaking the temporary truce, Trump bragged to reporters on Monday that the ceasefire is holding. But man, what Trump says, you look, man, this dude comes out in the midst of a damn near economic recession, all right, about to blow wide. He comes out talking about, oh, the economy is doing great. Some U.S. troops were withdrawn from northeast Syria earlier this month before Turkey launched its operation, but their future remains unknown. The Pentagon insists that they will remain in Syria to guard the oil fields, while Trump said they were redeployed elsewhere in the Middle East. The Pentagon has called on NATO to sanction Turkey. Whoa. NATO to sanction a NATO ally? Despite it being a member of the alliance, and both the president and Congress have threatened their own sanctions against the country. So what happens when you outcast Turkey from NATO? Well, what do we see here? With Syrian ceasefire ticking down, Erdogan travels to Russia to meet Putin and talk peace. Okay? Because Erdogan is seeing what's happening and he's like, listen, man, I'm not about to be the Germany, all right, of this age. Okay? You guys are not about to do this to me, and here it is. So what? If Turkey now says, you know what, I give in to your threats, Turkey's now gonna be sort of like the you know, the one who's like sort of like, oh, you were wilding earlier, we've had to put sanctions on you, so now you don't even get a say. Just be quiet. You're lucky we even accepted you back. Turkey's not with that. And according to prophecy, Turkey ain't gonna be with that. With Syrian ceasefire ticking down, Erdogan travels to Russia to meet Putin and talk peace. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan will meet his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin as the 5-day ceasefire in northern Syria nears its end. The meeting could decide whether there's a chance for peace in northeastern Syria. Meeting at the Black Sea resort of Sochi, Putin and Erdogan will discuss developments in Syria and normalization of the situation in the country's northeastern regions. According to the Kremlin, discussions will also include countering international terrorist groups and promoting the political settlement process. Ankara was vague and diplomatic about the upcoming meeting with Erdogan, saying he would discuss the situation with the Russian leader and take the necessary steps afterwards without explaining what that might entail. He offered a few hints on Saturday during a speech in the city of Kayseri, which was aired by the broadcaster NTV, noting that Syrian troops and their Russian allies have moved into the 20-mile safe zone along the border. Erdogan said he would raise that issue with Putin and implement Turkey's own plans if they fail to resolve it, according to TASS. Now, regardless of what it might seem, all right, concerning Russian troops and Turkish troops and whatever's going on there, guess what? We know that at the end, they're gonna be on the same side. Okay, just like regardless of what talks America and China try to have, we know that at the end there is going to be a collapse of the economy. All right. So if they come out and say, oh, we just had this deal and the trade war is over, we understand that that's all BS because something is going to spark it right back up again. In case the promises to Turkey are not fulfilled, we won't be waiting as before. We will be going ahead with the operation and will keep on destroying terrorists, he said. Turkey launched an incursion into northern Syria, dubbed Operation Peace Spring, on October 9th, targeting the Kurdish militias that have held the area since the defeat of the Islamic State. Let me see. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh, yeah, jump down. Condemned by its NATO allies and threatened with sanctions by Washington, Turkey agreed to suspend operations on October 17, pending a Kurdish withdrawal. By that time, however, U.S. troops pulling out of the contested safe zone were already being replaced by Syrian army forces under an agreement struck between the Kurds and Damascus. This has effectively removed Ankara's pretext for the invasion of the first place, or for the invasion in the first place. Uh, let's see. Oh, just last month, the Turkish president hosted a trilateral meeting on the future of Syria with Putin and Iranian President Hassan Rouhani in Ankara. So he was with both Rouhani and Putin. Okay, that's Russia and Iran. These are also key players, all right, within that third world war to come. So now you see how you're hearing more about Turkey, but now you're hearing more about Turkey with Iran and Turkey with Russia. It says Turkey has been a key player in the Astana peace process, seeking to negotiate a political settlement in the Syrian conflict. The Kremlin would probably not be talking about a Syrian constitution or constitutional convention if Erdogan seriously intended to continue military operations. Another very telling fact is that the troops that moved into Syria as part of Peace Spring were not Turkish regulars, but the so-called moderate rebels, Turkey-backed militants fighting for regime change in Syria, who can be easily disavowed. All right. So here's your update, okay, on what's going on. And if you notice, these prophecies are moving fast, man. All right, they are moving quick. Okay, it's like every day you look in the news, something is happening. Like it tells you in Habakkuk, man, though it tarry, wait for it. For it shall surely come, it shall not tarry. And that's what you see happening, man. And it's only going to pick up speed and get more and more intensified. Okay? So we're definitely living in prophetic times, man. As a matter of fact, I'll close it with this precept. This is good. Ezekiel 27. No, Slaki, Ezekiel 12 and 27. All right. Ezekiel chapter 12, verse 27. Son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say, the vision that he seeth is for many days to come, and he prophesieth of the times that are far off. So they saying, oh yeah, what you've been saying, look, man, that I could see that, but that's like in the future somewhere, you know. Microchips, that's like what my great grandkids are gonna have to worry about, you know. Martial law, the economic collapse. I mean, the economy's doing bad, but like we got a few years at least, you know. Guess what? We're telling them that it's imminent, and they're saying we're prophesying or we're speaking about things that are far off. They're far in the future. We don't have to worry about that right now. Verse 28. Therefore say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, there shall none of my words be prolonged anymore. Because these visions were written years ago. And now we see them happening now. So for that time span, you could say they were what? They were prolonged. But that's only because the Lord had set them for an appointed time. Okay? But the word which I have spoken shall be done, saith the Lord God. All right? So it ain't going to be no more, my great-grandmother was talking about that, and now y'all still talking about the same thing, and your kids are going to be saying the same thing, and your grandkids are going to be saying the same thing. Look, that's not going to be happening, man. This is the last generation. In this generation shall all be fulfilled. Okay? So look forward to that, man. Because a lot of things are taking place, man, and this is the time to be watching and to be on your spiritual game, man. Be on your spiritual A game. Okay? Because the Lord is working. All right. You don't want to be caught lacking. All right. So I'm gonna end it here. Lord willing, this was edifying unto the elect. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. Until next time, Shalom.